Hello, folks, and welcome to How Are You Doing Right Now, the People's Talk Show. As always, I'm your host, Julian Shapiro-Barnum. Today we're here in Prospect Park, which in the past months has been an escape for New Yorkers. We want to see what's on their mind. We also have an amazing musical guest for you, too. All right, it's time to ask Prospect Park the very important question. How are you doing right now? Welcome to How Are You Doing Right Now, the People's Talk Show. We are sitting down with Julia. Hi, Julia.
Hi.
How are you doing right now?
I'm actually pretty good right now. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good right now, too, which I have mixed feelings about. I feel like that's where I want to be, right?
Yeah.
That's good.
It is good.
So you told me that you are very passionate about connecting people through social media and like elevating voices through social media. That's been huge right now.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about, have you been involved in that? Have you been excited about that?
I guess the whole point is to be so I'm Palestinian, and I think so I think that is an issue where, one hand, it's make me very excited about social media in that for many Palestinians, their stories haven't been heard previously. I remember growing up and really struggling to find true stories of the Palestinian experience. And I think because of social media, because of Twitter, because of the youth movement in Palestine, we're able to see more directly of what their experience is day to day and what it feels like to either be under occupation or experience the hostility within the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. And so that is something that I think we've made a lot of progress on. There could always be more. There's still some silencing of those voices.
But you feel like overall your story and the true experience is being shared?
I think it's, again, way more than previously. I think it's being shared in a pretty radical way. It's, again, places like Twitter and Facebook and whatnot give the opportunity to share your stories in a way that just didn't exist. Prior to that, where else would you see the actual day perspective of a Palestinian living in Gaza, probably living in the West Bank, unless they were able to upload their story on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty wild to think about that's changed.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Lovely, Julia. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We are here with Kritika. Kritika,
Hello.
how are you doing right now?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing lovely. So are you at a bank right now, or are you working from home?
Yes, I'm working from home. And actually, just yesterday we got told we can just work from home for the rest of the year.
How do you feel about that?
Everyone else is pretty happy about that, but just because I'm not from here, I can't wait for all of this to get over with so I can actually travel again.
Do you feel like you get a lot out of traveling so much?
I mean, yeah, I'm constantly, I partly have an identity crisis just because of how much I've moved around.
What do you mean by that?
I grew up 8 years in Bombay, 8 years in Singapore.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now you've been here for
5 years now.
5 years,
yeah. So it's a little confusing because
So do you feel like you have a multiplicity of identities?
Yes, for sure. I try to explain to everyone, some people don't think I'm fully Indian. I'm yes, I am Indian. I'm also Singapore's home. So I have to explain that to people. But of course, I don't mean to first world problems. I'm grateful to have been able to move around this much and have that much exposure. Yeah, that's been great.
Do you feel like there's a different version of yourself in the different places that you call home?
For sure, yes. That's actually a really good question. Yeah, there's this thing that I do where I find myself talking in a different accent.
That's so interesting.
Yes, and I truly don't mean for it to be pretentious. It kind of just comes out. So I definitely speak in a different accent. And sometimes I wonder if the people that I've met here, do they fully understand where I'm from or understand
this daunting word home? How do you define that?
Oh my God, that's actually such a good question. I actually wrote a song about it
Really?
recently. Yes, it was literally called A Song About Home. But yeah, I think one thing that I've realized from being so far away is you kind of made really conscious of what it means to you. And I think at the end of the day, it's just the people that accept you completely.
Yeah.
That's what home is.
So this is the People's Talk Show, right?
Yes.
And we have all these cameras here. If there's one thing that you want people to hear right now, a message, an idea that you feel like people aren't hearing enough or should hear more of, is there something that you want to share?
Can it be just about anything?
It can be about anything in the world.
I guess the marginalization of Muslim communities back in India. And I feel like that's rampant now more than ever in the middle of COVID. Yeah. And I think that's one thing I wish people knew more about. And even journalism in India, I wish they talked more about it.
This was so wonderful, Kritika. Thank you so much for sitting down with us.
Thanks for having me. This was awesome.
Honey and Vinyl is a Brooklyn-based band led by frontwoman Kiana O'Quinn. Her Chicago upbringing and Southern roots serve as a large inspiration to the sound of her music. They'll be singing their song Smoke. Folks, take it away.
I should have known that you were no good for me. My mama told me, girl, let a man be a man. That's the way it should be. But what kind of man simply forgets to come home? Nah. I'm sick and tired of your lying. I can't do bad on my own. Listen, I got a funny feeling this is something you do. You make a girl fall in love and leave her crying for you. I got a funny feeling this is something you do. You make a girl fall in love. I said that you're a heartbreaker. Yeah, I guess you're really smart, ain't you? You know just how to get in my head. You got me feeling like I need a cigarette. And I don't even smoke. So I gave it some thought. And here's what I'm gonna do. Pack all your things, pour a drink, and wait for you to come through. Ooh. Don't apologize, because I made up my mind. Now, baby, be sweet, leave your key before I kiss you goodbye. Yeah. I got a funny feeling this is something you do. You make a girl fall in love and leave her crying for you. I got a funny feeling this is something you do. You make a girl fall in love. I said that you're a heartbreaker. Yeah, I guess you're really smart, ain't you? You know just how to get in my head. You got me feeling like I need a cigarette. Baby, you're a heartbreaker. Yeah, I guess you're really smart, ain't you? Oh, you know just how to get in my head. You got me feeling like I need a cigarette. And I don't even smoke.
Well, folks, that brings us to the end of our show. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you stay safe and healthy. Have a lovely day.